On people, welcome back to the channel. We are back again. It is Tuesday the 4th of June 2024 and we are here about to dive into the latest news surrounding Arsenal, surrounding Tottenham. Hey, believe it, Bissouma wrapped up in France, so we're going to dive in and look at that in more detail. 260k watch was taken from Bissouma. I don't know the full details, but we are going to look at that in further detail. There's so much to actually dive into. Leipzig trying to persuade Benjamin Sesko to stay. Okay, they're trying to make things difficult for Arsenal. Of course, Benjamin Sesko being their star man, heavily linked with a move to Arsenal at this moment in time. And we are leading the race. We have launched the bids, according to what the media are telling us. And there are other teams actually looking at Benjamin Sesko as well. We are going to be touching on that. No, Diddy, make sure you're hitting the like button, all of that type of stuff. Arsenal reluctant to sell Eddie Nketiah, ladies and gentlemen. What kind of shit am I waking up to reading this morning? What are you telling me? Arsenal don't want to sell Eddie Nketiah? Oh, wow. Yeah, we've got a lot to run through. Coffee gang. Big up every single one of you. Raise your glasses nice and high. Let me know what you're drinking. Coffee gang. Big up all the real ones in the building. Make sure we are hitting the like button, do subscribe, all of that. Get your comments in. If you are watching this on the playback, there will be timestamps. I'm going to start adding timestamps to the streams because we do a lot of waffling. We do a lot of waffling. I'm obviously talking a lot of football, so I'm going to be doing the timestamps. Make sure you check down below. Timestamps can be found down there. But what we're going to start with first, let's start with Manchester United's interest in Joao Neves. They've apparently put a bid on the table for Joao Neves. This is a player that's been heavily linked with a move to Arsenal. And this is interesting. 60 million euros, according to the reports in Portugal, has been put down on the table for Joao Neves by Manchester United. It's immediately been rejected. Of course it would be. They're asking for astronomical money. 120 million is what they insist. And that's the release clause of the player. They want that triggered if anyone wants him. Arsenal have had a strong interest. Some reports are still saying that Arsenal are looking at him. Of course, 120 million is going to be a lot of money. I don't think Arsenal are going to cough up that. It does say here they now want a minimum 100 million. So Benfica would be willing to accept 100 million euros. Probably works out to be about 80 something million pounds. I mean, when you look at it like that, then you tell yourself, interesting. Maybe Arsenal might pull the trigger on this one. Yeah, if they're saying 85 million, why not? I mean, some people will question this. Obviously, he's only 20 years old. He's a young prospect. But if you do the eye test, it tells you all you need to know, ladies and gentlemen. This guy is a wonder kid. This guy is an incredible player. I think this is a great long-term partnership for Declan Rice. This is something we need to identify. And I think we've done that with Joao Neves. However, we have Manchester United who are in a revamp, a rebuild, looking to get rid of Casemiro, looking to get rid of Rashford potentially, looking to get rid of Fernandes. They want to take all that money off the wage bill and revamp. You think about the amount of money they'll make or they'll put back into the wage bill based on those 3 players just leaving. It will allow them to bring in some significant players, to be quite fair. Someone like Joao Neves, he's not going to really be commanding 200k. I mean, it's going to be like 100k, 120k, 150k at max for this young player. But yeah, it's definitely one to watch. Will Arsenal pull the trigger on this one? Remains to be seen. Big up Sergio, big up Nolt, big up Afo in the building, big up my guy H, big up Lionheart, big up DWTT, big up Peppermint Freedom. Yes, man. Freedom is a must, ladies and gentlemen. Freedom is a must. Make sure we are hitting the like button, do subscribe, all of that type of stuff, man. The window opens. The window opens in 10 days. 10 days time, the transfer window officially opens. And in 13 days time, the Euro starts. I believe it's on the 17th of June, the Euro starts, if I remember correctly. And that's when we do expect to have Benjamin Sesko signed, sealed, and delivered. Will Arsenal be able to get the job done? Will Edu be able to get the job done? Let's see. We're going to get there. We're going to get there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure we're sharing the video. Let's get more people involved in the stream. Getting closer to the 100 mark. Here we go. Just hit that like button as we're joining, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure we're making it happen. We've got some interesting stories to be running through this brunch. I'll tell you. All right, cool. Let's move on. So Joao Neves, someone Arsenal are looking at 60 million rejected already. They want 100 million at a bare minimum. Will Arsenal or Manchester United or another team come in and make that happen? And how do you feel about Joao Neves? Would you be happy to see him at Arsenal, partnered with Declan Rice? Is he that player? Do comment down below. Let me know. Another player that could potentially be leaving his football club this season is Frankie De Jong. As we do know, Barcelona have recently signed Hansi Flick. He is now the manager. I think he's going to do a fantastic job. He's going to do an incredible job. I think Hansi Flick, the right type of experience, he's got the right pedigree. It's just the right man for a club like Barcelona. When you're a team like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Arsenal, you want that experience, kind of put together, well-decorated type manager, and he fits the bill, man. And I think he's going to do extremely well there, and he's going to have a clear out. He's not going to stand for any bullshit, no slack. You haven't got the attitudes, you're out the door. He's not going to stand for it. Hansi Flick is very well disciplined in how he wants his players, and he's going to be a good manager. However, Frankie De Jong is a player that I think he's going to want to get rid of. And I don't know why. But it does say here, Hansi Flick, pardon me, would be open to selling Frankie De Jong, but only if Barcelona can guarantee a high-level replacement. So, we do know that with Frankie De Jong, there's been a lot of, talk and speculation about his future. We know Barcelona owe him money. That's the only reason he's there. Frankie De Jong has only stayed at Barcelona because they owed him that money. They owed him 20 million euros, bro. I ain't walking away from 20 million euros. Barcelona basically told him, if you leave the football club, we're not paying you the 20 million euros. So they gave him that ultimatum. He decided that he wasn't going to leave the football club, hence why he didn't join Man United at that time under Ten Hag's first season, and he didn't join Arsenal because we were heavily being linked with him at the time as well. He stayed at Barcelona, signed a new contract. Now, the new contracts, basically, they implemented that 20 million euros that they owed him. They implemented that into the new contract. So I think his wages at the moment are about £475,000 a week. Astronomical. How do we get that over the line? Like, Frankie De Jong is going to have to take a wage reduction if he is to leave Barcelona. I don't think anyone's going to be willy-nilly putting £475,000+ a week on the table for the player. So that's kind of like a major stumbling block. But he could only be happy, or only be kind of willing to accept those terms just because of the amount of money they're owed. Him and his entourage are owed 20 million. Obviously, it's not 20 million now, but they're owed 20 million. So that's probably, he was happy to do it because of that. But if he moves to another club, there obviously is, open for negotiation in terms of, I'll take, 250k instead of the 475k or some shit. I don't know. But Frankie De Jong is definitely an incredible player, someone that Arsenal should be going for. If you're looking at a long-term partner for Declan Rice, Joao Neves, 100% a person that's in the conversation, a person we can talk about. But Frankie De Jong, I think he's at the top of most Arsenal fans' wish list at this moment in time, to be quite fair. Big up Robin, big up Anthony, big up Rambo, big up all the guys that are joining, big up Uzo, big up every single one of you guys, man. I can see here. Just keep hitting that like button. We're going to get to the comments, of course, but keep getting those comments in as well. Keep that engagement happening consistently in the chat. I don't know where the mods are. I ain't seeing no mods in the chat this morning. So mods, beer. You're disappointing me, blood. How many mods do I have on this channel? Do I have to start ranting on you mods, fam? We go live 11:30 every single day. Where the blood clot are you mods, blood? Shit. Big up the Emirates faithful. I see you, broski. Keep getting those comments in. But on a real note, blood, where are the mods? We go live every day, 11:30, blood. But what the hell's going on? Mods are slacking. This is what I'm saying. Like up the stream. Big up my guy Lucien. Anyway, man, we are rolling. You haven't missed too much. We've spoken about Joao Neves and we've spoken about Frankie De Jong so far. We are moving on right now. Frankie De Jong could be open, or Hansi Flick could be open to selling Frankie De Jong as long as Barcelona bring a significant replacement, basically. All right, let's move on to this. Now, this is extremely interesting. Bissouma racked up. Bissouma was robbed. 260k watch stolen by muggers after being sprayed with tear gas. It's not even something to laugh at, but it is funny. This is a Tottenham Don. A guy that, actually, I can laugh at this. What, you thought you could laugh at Monreal? Remember when Bissouma was playing for Brighton? He tried to laugh at Monreal when they beat us. Okay, I don't even think they beat us. Did we draw? They laughed because Arsenal didn't qualify for the Champions League. Do you remember that? Oh, yes, we remember that. Bissouma, you frauds. And you play for Tottenham as well, blood. We're going to laugh at you all day long. Yeah, he got wrapped up. He got tear gassed. No, that was fake. That was fake. But you know what I mean. No, he got wrapped up, guys. Tear gassed, and his wife arrived at has him and his wife arrived at the 5-star majestic Barrère Hotel in Cannes, over in France. Let's open this story up. Let's see what's going on. My like Bissouma ratch for his 260k watch. Of course, the guy's got mad insurance, so you know you're probably going to get that back. But yeah, whoever done that, living, ran on them mods. Yeah, no, them mods are taking a piss, bro, and they still haven't even turned up. And believe I've got about 4 or 5 of them in the WhatsApp group. Believe we put this stream in the WhatsApp group before we went live. Believe this stream is pinned to the WhatsApp group. Believe these mods are still not here. Okay. Says what you need to know then, really, boys, isn't it? And girls, of course. All righty then. Anyway, man, let's stop thinking about the mods. Let's move over to Bissouma. What's going on here? Daily Mail have opened up now. So I'm not going to share this screen because Daily Mail are fraudulent. But this says Bissouma was reportedly mugged outside a 5-star hotel in Cannes this weekend with 2 robbers spraying him in the face with tear gas before they made off with his 260k watch. So they sprayed him. He must have fell to the floor or just had his hand out and said, yes, take my watch. Take it. 260k. Don't worry, this pepper spray is going to scare me. And this guy a madman. So you thought you could sit on the pitch and laugh at Monreal, but you ain't got the balls to try and save your 260k watch from some fucking tear gas. Oh, you know what? I know he's there with his missus. He probably had no security. His missus was screaming. Ah! He was probably thinking about her, hoping she wasn't getting her, and then he decided just to say, take it. And what a bitch. What a bitch, pardon my language. But I'm only got this energy because it's Bissouma and he's Tottenham. He's Tottenham, and we have to keep this energy for these frauds. Yeah, 27 years old. He was pounced on by 2 hooded men as he got out of his car. So this is premeditated. They see him come in. You know, maybe someone told them that he was going to be at this hotel. It's pretty like, yeah. What has he got his name and his number plate? Like, what's going on? I don't know. Like, it had to be premeditated. It had to be set up. You know how? Because no one is really just out here waiting outside hotels for Bissouma to turn up, bruv. And then, oh yeah, I want to take his 260k watch. It doesn't make any sense, bro. Someone set him up. Probably his wife set him up. I don't know. Someone set him up. It doesn't make any sense. People are just literally just chilling at hotels, ready to wrap dons for watches. No, man. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. The rest of the story does say though. So yeah, he got wrapped up as he got out of his car on the Promenade de la Croisette. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Croisette. I don't know. I'm not a French don. All right. A road that runs parallel to the hotel and the seafront. Okay. The outlet also claims that the incident occurred at approximately 4 a.m. What? These guys were prowling at 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning, and you're telling this was set up, bro. He got set up, man. His missus set him up. Someone knew he was going to be there at that time. Come on. What the hell was going on? 4 a.m. on a Sunday morning. The midfielder reportedly attempting to seek safety away from the muggers inside the French hotel, but its doors were locked. Oh, no. The hotel set him up. Oh, the hotel set him up, bro. Oh, man, the hotel set him up. It's not even a joke. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Bissouma. Yeah, he was wrapped up, man. The 2 thieves had pulled his luxury watch from his wrist before departing the scene in a car. The Sun also adds that Bissouma and his wife were left shocked and dismayed and had returned to England later on Sunday, despite being due to spend several days on holiday. He got shook and he just cut out, boy. Cut out. Big up Bissouma, boy. It's wild out there. It is wild out there. Big Ann set him up. Someone set him up. 4 a.m. on a Sunday outside a hotel on a seafront. A man come out of a car, wrapped you up for your watch. That's setup settings. That is fully set up settings. And yeah, man. Like obviously he's okay. He's back in the UK now. He's obviously okay. Probably a bit traumatized. But I thought Bissouma was about it though. I thought it was about it. I'm gonna lie to you, blood. Bissouma's been carrying that. He's not about it, actually, is he? He's not about it. I actually see a video of him doing what was he doing? Is it kick game? Is it kick game? Yeah, it was definitely kick game. Yeah, he's definitely one of those flamboyant dons, isn't he? He's a flamboyant, flary don. Yeah. Big time setup, Wax. No joke. I'm telling you, it's definitely a setup, man. It's in Keynes, bro. I've been there. Places for rich folks only, especially in the summer. So how is he getting wrapped up? We got my guy Joe. 100% set up, innit? 100% set up. He needs to check who's around him, who's in his circle. Yeah, that's crazy. But that's Bissouma problems. That's Tottenham problems anyway. So let's move on from that. I thought I'll share that anyway. We'll have a little laugh at Tottenham. You'll love to see it. A few more things before we move on to Arsenal. We've got Nico Williams is the priority target for Barcelona. This is another Arsenal target. The club will offer to pay more than his release clause in exchange for installments. However, if the club rejects, they will pay the full release clause. Okay, so Barcelona are on Nico Williams, and according to what's being said, they are willing to pay more, only if they accept installments. If they don't accept installments, then they're still willing to pay the release clause. So either way, they are trying to push for this deal of Nico Williams. Interesting. And this is interesting to quickly touch on, and I want to know your thoughts on this. The 567 million problem. The Ballon d'Or favourite, Vinicius Jr., plays on the left. You've got Jude Bellingham, who has excelled as a false nine, and Rodrigo scores important goals. Plus, Brazilian wonderkid Endrick is arriving. So how does Real Madrid fit in Kylian Mbappe? This is crazy, man. They have literally got wonder kids galore over there. But how do they fit in Mbappe? They're going to have to sacrifice one of their players. I mean, Endrick's not going to mind sitting on the bench. He's not going to mind the development process. But is Rodrigo going to be content with sitting on the bench? Is Vinicius Jr. going to be sitting on the bench? Definitely not. Is he going to move back to the right when his preferred position is on the left, where he's been more effective on the left? Is Mbappe going to move back to the right? It could be interesting, and it could be very conflicting for Carlo Ancelotti and how he manages this. I've always said that Mbappe, it was the wrong decision for Mbappe to actually go to Real Madrid. People will say, well, how, Wax? They just won the Champions League. They'll probably win it again and blah, blah, blah. You know, I just don't think, you know, as Mbappe, you leave a legacy at Real Madrid. You don't leave one. And if you're competing with big, massive heroes, bro. Big, massive legends. Like, anyway, that's an Mbappe problem. But I wanted to know your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen here? Are Real Madrid going to sell a player? Will Rodrigo be leaving? He's been linked with a move to Liverpool, Arsenal as well. You know, there are, you know, teams that, you know, Real Madrid, I mean, Man United probably won't be in with a chance of signing him, but, you know, they'll probably try and entertain the deal somehow. Chelsea as well, like, and then you got to think of the other teams around the world, PSG, Bayern Munich, and so on and so forth. You know, will there be an exit plan for Rodrigo? It can't be Vinicius Jr. Jude Bellingham's now been moved into this false nine role. So it's really complicated. Mbappe can play on the right. I think they will be fluid up front and rotate. Yeah, I mean, he can play on the right, but I see Mbappe being so much more effective on the left, but doing the same with Vinicius Jr. You know, and I mean, they're very intelligent players. You know, figuring things out and adapting on that right-hand side isn't going to take that long. It'll probably be, a couple of games before man finds confidence, finds form. Modric will be the sacrifice. Bellingham will play in midfield with either Camavinga and Tchouaméni or Valverde, making them a three-man midfield. Interesting. I did read a report, in fact, that did suggest that Bellingham could actually drop in to the number 6. He could drop more deeper and play more deeper. But why would you get him so? Why would you get him? Why would you encourage him to be such an advanced player if that's the intention? That's the over. Because you have to bear in mind, you know that you're going to be signing Mbappe. Like, you didn't wake up yesterday and say, "Oh, we're signing Mbappe." You knew from a year ago or 2 years ago you were signing Mbappe. So what? I mean, what's the thought of trying to transfer this player who was more or less playing as a 6/8 anyway, and make him this false 9, make him this guy that is literally playing down the middle and being one of the main attacks or main players in attack, and then put him in as a number 6? I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be interesting to see how they manage this. Did you see Gabriel brush Endrick off the ball? Yeah, that was interesting, and I was definitely laughing, boy. Welcome to the big boy league, my guy. Mbappe can play on the right, absolutely. I don't really rate Rodrigo, but for 40 million, I wouldn't mind. You've been getting Rodrigo for 40 million. Not for 40 million. Rodrigo is coming out 85 million just to start the negotiation. And they'll probably push it to about 100 million. Mbappe is not a team guy. He needs to be the main guy. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I don't know that's going to work over there, man. Like, they're probably it's not going to be difficult for them. I don't think it's going to be difficult for them. They're all intelligent players, but I just want to see how Mbappe is going to fit in. It's interesting, man. I'm intrigued. I'm overly intrigued to see how this is going to work out for Real Madrid. Bellingham will likely play the Modric role, which frees up the spot for Mbappe. Yep, absolutely. Big up my guy Anthony. Appreciate you. Big up Vikes. Big up Zeeks. Big up Anthony Roberts. Big up everyone that's joining the stream. Big up Ace. Everyone. Joe, I see you guys. Make sure we're hitting the like button. All of that. We're going to get into Arsenal content in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. Fasten your seatbelts. Interesting stuff, man. Mbappe and Real Madrid. Okay. What else we got going on? Inacio being linked with a move to Manchester United. They're preparing to push ahead of any club in Europe at this moment in time to get a deal done. United are the best placed club to sign a defender, and informal talks have already taken place. That is according to reports in Portugal. As we do know, Inacio was someone that was heavily being linked with a move to Arsenal, and then we all of a sudden switched our attention to Diamande, and then there was 1 or 2 other reports being published to suggest that we were still kind of looking at Inacio. But according to report Portugal, it does look like Man United are best placed to actually get this one done. Let's see what happens. A good defender, man, and Man United are going to be a team to be reckoned with. If they make the right decisions, if they get rid of the right players, the Casemiros, I mean, I would contemplate the Bruno Fernandes move, because I think Bruno Fernandes is the heartbeat of that team. You know, you have to kind of, I know he's 30, 31 or whatever he is, but you have to kind of build your team around Bruno Fernandes and then find that profile, which could be potentially a Joao Neves, but you have to find that profile to replace him, you know, in a few years to come. You slowly but surely just kind of migrate someone in, you know what I mean? But they have to build around Bruno Fernandes. Selling Bruno Fernandes, it could be beneficial because of the wages, but it also could be detrimental as well because they won't have a real leader. The people that need to go at Manchester United, the real guys that need to go is Harry Kane. You need to get rid of fucking Harry Kane. If you man want to keep, oh bro, is Man United really sitting there thinking about keeping Harry Kane? Come on, man. These men are mad, bro. Absolutely mad. Diamande is overhyped. Inacio is a much more safer bet. Big up here to there. Valverde, Bellingham, Tchouaméni in the midfield is going to be out of this world. Out of this world. But yeah. You mean Harry Maguire? That's what I'm saying. Who did I say? Did I say someone else's name or something? I'm pretty sure I'm saying Harry Maguire. You know, these are the dons that they really need to get rid of. You know, Casemiro as well. I think Casemiro, you need to go. You're earning too much money. 350k, I think he earns. You know, you could literally bring in 2 top young talent with that. Maybe even 3, 100k each, and still have 50k left over. You know, did I say Harry Kane? Did I say Harry Kane? Oh my God, you said Harry Kane. Oh my God. Sorry guys, I do apologize. Harry Kane, you know. Harry Maguire, bro. Sorry, Harry Maguire, that square head fridge. Like he's such a bruv. I don't even think PC World and Curry's would sell him. I don't even think they would sell him. Like literally, he's some dead ass fridge, bruv. You'll find him in the local shops. The local shops will sell him. I probably did say Harry Kane, you know, mad thing. I did mean Harry Maguire, of course. Of course. But yeah, Harry Maguire, these are the type of players that Man United need to sell, not Bruno Fernandes. Once you found a significant replacement and a proper profile that kind of you can replicate, that is more or less a Bruno Fernandes, young version, probably a bit more to his game, a bit more tenacity or whatever, bam, that's when you kind of get rid of Bruno Fernandes. So we'll see how this Man United project goes. Anyway, again, being a football fan, it's interesting to see how these clubs are gonna operate, how they're gonna manage it, how they're gonna transition. Do you know what I mean? The Premier League is such a fantastic league, man. You have to love the Premier League. Next season is gonna be one of the most competitive seasons we have seen. Now, this season has kind of demonstrated that to a degree. Arsenal made it. I wouldn't say made it look easy, but we did kind of just skate through. We did kind of skate through this season. But I think next season is going to be even more difficult. More teams are going to be building up. You know, Man United, the Chelsea's are going to be back. I think they are literally going to be back. You know, they will be challenging again. Maybe not for the title, but for top four, definitely. Slab heads. Big up my guy Samuel. Big up John. Big up everyone joining. I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys. Shaheen says, until Pep leaves, it won't be competitive. I mean, it will still be competitive. I know what you mean, though, but it still will be competitive in a sense where you don't know if you're going to beat a team or not. Do you know what I mean? Like you like Arsenal might go up against, I don't know, Wolves. It could be Brighton. It could be West Ham. Nowadays, you're looking at those games and you're saying, like, I don't know if we're going to get 3 points out of these games. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because, you know, the Aston Villas, the Newcastles, all of these teams are going to keep improving. And they've all got money to spend. And the Premier League's so attractive. And that's what a lot of players are all about these days, is about playing in the most attractive football league on the planet, which is the Premier League, and getting a fantastic pay package. And you know, when you're coming to the Premier League, you can sign for fucking Burnley, blood. Yeah? Not anymore. But you can sign for like the newly promoted team. Who's being newly promoted? I can almost guarantee that Ipswich are going to have some peas to spend, blood. And they will be able to go and dish out someone an 80, 100K contract right now. You know, them way there. The point is, you can get a lucrative pay packet in the Premier League. So teams are going to be improving, and it's going to be more competitive, and it's going to make it more difficult when you're looking at teams and saying, can we actually take 3 points from these games? You know? And Anthony says we need better fluid tactics at Arsenal Football Club. That's one thing that a lot of teams are starting to implement, more fluid type of play. You know, the football on display from a lot of teams at the moment is not just, oh, low block, mid block, park the bus, let's sit back and soak up pressure. Yeah, you obviously get that. It depends on, you know, the strategy of the manager. But a lot of teams now are trying to express themselves, be creative, use their fullbacks in different ways, you know, use their midfielders in different ways, play with a bit more fluidity, a bit more unpredictability, blood. They're using their defenders in different ways. So the game is so transforming and so like just advancing now that it becomes more competitive. You understand? It becomes more competitive, and that's the point. Shaheen, you know them way there. There's so much, bro. This Premier League is a mad thing. But yeah, anyway, guys, make sure we are hitting the like button. Big up all the real ones in the building. Much appreciate every single one of you. Do I have anything else that I want to talk about? Lacazette actually potentially going to Saudi Arabia. He's going to be at the Olympics of France, but he's going to Saudi Arabia this summer. Aston Villa and Juventus are working on a deal with Douglas Luiz and Weston McKennie. Now, I want to speak about Douglas Luiz for Arsenal as well today, because some reports are suggesting that Arsenal will aim to push for a move for Douglas Luiz due to the fact that Aston Villa have to sell a superstar player, one of their top players, because of FFP. And obviously they're trying to figure out what they're going to do at Aston Villa, how they're going to get around it. How can they not have to sell and lose out? Because if they sell, they might not be able to replace, because they're selling for a reason. They're selling because of this FFP. They're selling to balance things out. So I can sell Douglas Luiz for 60, 70 million, but I might not be able to replace Douglas Luiz. Or if I replace him, it might not be with a 50 to 60 million pound player. I might have to go and find myself a 10 to 20 million pound player who's got potential, championship, abroad, whatnot. And that might have to be the answer. But Aston Villa are trying to figure things out whereby they don't drop quality and they still abide by this FFP bullshit at the same time. So what they're trying to do is do a swap deal with Juventus for Weston McKennie. Now, I don't think Weston McKennie's that great. We've seen Weston McKennie in the Premier League already. Weston McKennie was playing for Leeds, I believe. He looked absolutely diabolical. He looked fat. He looked like he couldn't run. I don't know why Aston Villa are going to want Weston McKennie. But they're interested in Weston McKennie. They want to do a swap deal with Douglas Luiz. They value Douglas Luiz at 60 million. Weston McKennie is valued at 30 million. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do a swap with Weston McKennie? It's like 30 million pounds that you're actually losing. Doesn't make any sense, right? And what would be better for Douglas Luiz? Staying in the Premier League where his misses plays, I believe, and where he's been for quite some time, or moving over to Juventus? I don't know. Obviously, Arsenal still in the conversation for Douglas Luiz as well, ladies and gentlemen. If we switch over, let me quickly find this story. Arsenal still in the conversation. We're going to move on to Arsenal news now. We're segueing into the Arsenal content. I mean, it's always been Arsenal more or less, because the players we've been talking about today is still being linked with Arsenal, but it's more or less the fact that these players are being linked with other clubs, and they look destined for those clubs over Arsenal. It says here, Arsenal have a strong interest in Douglas Luiz, whose contract ends in 2026. Aston Villa need to sell an important player to comply with PSR rules and value him at over 50 million euros. There was another report that I actually read to suggest that Arsenal are do prioritize Douglas Luiz. He is one of the top 3 midfielders that they're looking at bringing in. There is nothing saying that they're going to push for the deal, but they are looking at him more or less. So look, Douglas Luiz is a good player, man. I would bring him in after the performances that he's been putting in for Aston Villa this season. I think he's been impactful. He's been integral. He's been one of the reasons they actually qualify for the Champions League. I think this improves Arsenal differently. How old is Douglas Luiz? About 26, 27. So he's still at a good age. 26, I think. So still at a good age. He still has a number of years in him whereby he can be partnered with Declan Rice. And he also adds something that we don't really have in this team. You know, I think he's, you know, this one thing that I do like about Douglas Luiz is, you know, the leadership qualities, the fact that he loves to always get on the ball and try and make it happen. You know what I mean? Likes to get forward, can defend as well. He's 26 years old. I thought he was about that age, 26. But that's one of his really important traits, always wanting to get on the ball. And you can see he's got those playmaker, you know, qualities in him as well. Probably a deep line playmaker, but he can get forward and make things happen in the final third. Great set piece taker, takes corners, free kicks, something that we don't really have at Arsenal. We're trying to turn Declan Rice into the set piece guy. You know, I think we need a set piece specialist. You know what I mean? I think we need a set piece specialist. And I think, yeah, Douglas Luiz could be that. There probably are better set piece takers than Douglas Luiz out there, but something we definitely need to look at. And I think Arteta and Edu are looking at that as well. No to Luiz, yes to Gumaresh. Sorry, Luiz lovers, but Bruno G is way levels above Luiz. I mean, that's a fair comparison. Them two, I mean, they're good players, man. It'll be difficult to really tear them apart. It would be difficult to really tear them apart. I think they're really good at what they do and what they offer a team. You know, playing them together could be interesting as well. Allowing them to have a real creative player in front of them, playing them as a free. Douglas Luiz is good at set pieces. Man scored a corner past Ramsdale. The maddest thing is he's known that the corner that he scored past Ramsdale, he's done that a number of times. That's how you know it's not a fluke. That's how you know it's not a fluke. He's done it in training. Even Saliba does it in training, just to let you guys know. Saliba's got tech where we can bag it from the corner flag. But he actually done it in a game back to back. Douglas Luiz done it back to back. I don't know if it was Arsenal back to back. Like he done it against Arsenal, then another team the following game, or vice versa. The team and then Arsenal the following game. Or it could have been someone else. But I do know this season or last season he done it back to back. Douglas Luiz has got tech, man. He's definitely got tech. And he's got work rate. He's got an engine. He's got mentality. He's a fierce player, man. He's very determined, and this is what I want. Like players that are always going to give 110%. And I see that from Douglas Luiz. Bruno Guimaraes, I get that from him as well, but I don't know. I feel like Bruno Guimaraes has an attitude problem. I feel like Bruno Guimaraes can lose his attitude very, very quickly. And if you lose your attitude, it comes with, just lacking the right, not setting the right example, not listening, kind of being like a ball in a china shop. Do you know what I mean? You're a ball in a china shop. And that's what he can be. That's what Bruno Guimaraes can be. So I feel like if you have Bruno Guimaraes, there's a chance that in games where things are not going right for him, there's in games where an opponent is maybe making it difficult for him, he might lose his attitude. If he loses his attitude, he loses everything. Do you know what I mean? He loses everything. We've seen that with Newcastle, man. Newcastle haven't been at their greatest. It's because not just all because of Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, there's so many reasons, and I think the main reason has been injuries. That's probably been their main reason over there. But I think certain players have lost attitudes. Certain players have lost their attitudes, and when you lose an attitude, you lose the game. You might only lose your attitude for that game. I'm not saying that he's lost his attitude for a long period of time, like he's just completely fell off. But I'm talking about in game. And this is the reason why you want your players to have a strong mentality, man. Bruno G has 16 GA in the league. The guy is just underrated. He has literally carried Newcastle midfield alone. I rate Bruno Guimaraes. I seriously wanted him at Arsenal before he went to Newcastle. I thought we were getting him. I was gassed. I was heavily following because the first time I come across Bruno Guimaraes was when he was playing in Brazil. He was playing in Brazil. He was linked with a move to Arsenal then, and that's when he joined Lyon. So he joined Lyon, I think, in 2019 or 2020, one of those two seasons. That's when he joined Lyon. That's when I was looking at him. Big up my guy Roland. Much appreciate you, Roland. Big up all the members. That's when I first come across him, and I followed him ever since then. Watching what he was doing in over in Brazil, I like what he was doing, but I wanted to see him at a more superior league. And when he went to France and I see what he was doing with Lyon, and then you see the fall off that Lyon's had ever since kind of players like Bruno Guimaraes have left and one or two other dons. It just goes to show you how integral he is, how qualified he is. And then when he's gone to Newcastle, it was like, oh my God, this guy's cold. Like, this guy is super duper cold, bro. Like, how did we not sign him? This guy is fully cold. Like, this guy is carrying shit. What the hell? You understand? So, look, I like Bruno. I like Bruno, bro. He's a good player, man. But I just question his attitude at times. That's all it is. But anyway, Arsenal still interested in Douglas Luiz and Bruno Guimaraes. Obviously, the Bruno Guimaraes does look unrealistic because Newcastle don't want to let him go. I think Bruno Guimaraes will leave, but I don't know if it's going to be to Arsenal because of the amount of money, and that's the problem. I don't think it's going to be to Arsenal because of the amount of money. Aston Villa have also signed Ross Barkley, by the way, for 5 million, and Liverpool have also joined the race for Bruno Guimaraes as well. But all right, let's proper move on to Arsenal content now. What have I got going on over here? We're going to talk about Eddie Nketiah. We're going to talk about Benjamin Sesko. They're the main two topics over the next 15 minutes. So make sure we're hitting the like button, do subscribe, all of that. We are on the road to 20k, man. It's taking long to get there. I don't know what's going on. Even the grow rate of our subscribers is slow. Come on, subscribe, man. I see at least 45 or 47% of the people that watch the channel are not subscribed. I need you guys to subscribe, bro. Do you know what I mean? You know, to share videos, all of that type of stuff. So it's been said, yeah, the Arsenal, this is published by The Athletic, that the hierarchy at Arsenal, so Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke, their feelings towards Arsenal's progress and what Arsenal need to do, you know, moving forward, kind of opened their eyes when they saw the exit to Bayern Munich. So when we got beat by Bayern Munich, that opened up the eyes of the owners, and the owners basically have said internally that they are going to do X, Y, and Z to ensure that doesn't happen again. You know, they're looking at players, the right quality of players. They really want to spend money this summer. You know, about 200 million is what's being suggested, and that's going to, you know, overhaul this squad. And there's conflicting information out there because some of the reports are basically telling us that Arsenal only want to sign one attacking player, one midfielder perhaps, but then everyone else that we sign is more or less going to be like, not bit parts, but ones for the future, or, you know what I mean, players that are going to be benched and stuff like that. I don't want that to be the case. I honestly don't want that to be the case. I really want Stan Kroenke and Josh Kroenke to be ruthless. I want them to back the manager because this is the manager's last season for me. Yeah, this has to be the manager. This has to be the season where he delivers. They can't tell me at the end of next season, oh, don't worry, guys. No, I'm not going to have it, bro. I'm not going to have it. I will fucking fully detach myself from the football club, and I will literally be the biggest critic on the planet for the football club. That's literally it. I won't be a fan anymore. I'll be a critic. That's all I'll be, blood. You know what I mean? And I don't want that to be the case. I love this football club. I love it. So I need the football club to really illustrate how serious it is by doing X, Y, and Z this summer, and by, you know, delivering next season. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's literally it now. But based on what the Gunner blog is saying at The Athletic, is that the feeling is mutual. The owners do want to back the manager. They want to give him the players that he wants, and they want to bring in a significant signing or significant players that improve our squad. Benjamin Sesko has attracted significant interest from the Premier League and continental Europe. But the feeling among other clubs is, if he is to move, Arsenal are the team that is going to be moving to. However, it has been stated by The Athletic. It has been stated by The Athletic that RB Leipzig are aiming to persuade Benjamin Sesko to stay. They want to do everything in their power to convince the player to stay. They want to offer him a new contract. They want to double his wages. They want to literally give him crazy bonuses. They are going to do everything in their power to try and convince this guy to stay. However, in my opinion, I think his head's already been turned. I actually think what Arsenal have done, the vision that he's been sold, the role that he's been given, the finances that come with it, the life in London as well, being a young man, 20 years old, 21 years old, I think his head's already been turned. I think he has been sold. I think he can't wait to link up with Arsenal. I think he is destined to join Arsenal Football Club. Now, we were told yesterday that a bid had been launched by Arsenal, 55 million euros. The same report suggested that the bid was going to be immediately rejected because it didn't meet the valuation of the release clause, which is 65 million euros. Now, that didn't make any sense to me because what that demonstrates is incompetence, okay? Incompetence at its fucking finest. Now, I don't want to believe right now that Arsenal are operating in this incompetent fashion, okay? I know we have incompetent characters, but I want us to believe that we've overcome those obstacles and we now know how to deal with business. The guy's got a release clause, 65 million, pull the trigger. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, you understand? That it's just, it's logic. It's simple. And you've been the sporting director for quite some time now, Edu. You've been rolling with Richard Garlick, your side chick for quite some time now, my guy. You need to be able to get this shit right. If the report we shared on yesterday's stream is correct, then it highlights a clear level of incompetence, because why are you putting a bid of £55 million down on the table for a player whose club are trying to persuade him to stay, but have been adamant in your conversation and your dialogue that he wants the release clause triggered? Come on, man. Please, 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 please. Do you understand now? And this is the reason why I get frustrated, bro. So I need Edu to really step up. If you're going to get Benjamin Sesko done, get it done. Mikel Arteta is adamant he wants it done. Like I said to you guys earlier, the Euros kicks off in 13 days. That's actually less than 2 weeks. Yeah? It means that we need to see this deal signed, sealed, and delivered before that game, before that first game on the 13th, before that game kicks off. This player needs to be in an Arsenal shirt, done, medical done, signed, sealed, delivered. That is the expectation of Mikel Arteta. He doesn't want it later than that, and he wants it earlier than that. So, you know, let's see, man, because right now you got to think. Peppermint TV says, Peppermint TV, why do I call you Peppermint TV, blood? I don't know why I do that. Yo, my guy, I'm live. I'm gonna have to phone you back, G. Yeah. Respect. Oh, it's crazy. Like you're right, Peppermint. Like these men are more or less letting the manager down if they're not dealing correct, if they're not dealing with things correctly right now. So we're talking about a number of things right now. It's not just the Benjamin Sesko deal. We're also talking about players needing to be sold. Yeah. The next subject we're going to move on to is Arsenal's reluctancy in selling Eddie Nketiah. Why? I can't get my head around this one. I haven't even read the report, but we're gonna see what this shit's telling us, right? We're gonna see what this shit's telling us. So, like, yeah, this one here is a bit fishy. I don't know what's going on. In my honest opinion, I think that Benjamin Sesko wants Arsenal. He wants to move to Arsenal. You know, it's a dream come true for Benjamin Sesko. He was playing for Salzburg. He's moved over to RB Leipzig. Why the hell would he want to stay there? You're in a farmers league. You're playing for You're playing for a club that had been a feeder club for most of its history. You might as well just move to Arsenal, bruv. Yeah, come and win some major honors, bruv, because that is what we're trying to achieve. Yeah, you understand? That is what we're trying to achieve. So, yeah, man. Let's see what happens with Benjamin Sesko. Arsenal ready to make this one happen. Eager. Everyone knows what the crack is. All of the football clubs that are interested in Benjamin Sesko, no Arsenal winning the race. I don't think anyone wants to tread on Arsenal's toes right now when it comes to this Benjamin Sesko thing. The only club, and you guys probably already know, the only club that will try and they will sit there and they'll wait and they'll wait and they'll wait, and then lastminute.com, they'll try and jump on our toes, is Chelsea. Chelsea are the only team I am worried about. Now, I feel like Chelsea would be able to convince Benjamin Sesko to join them. I honestly think he will be convinced to join them. But that's my only worry. If they jump in the race and start trying to put figures down on the table, Big Belly Bodie comes with his fucking blurry vision or his blurry sewers and starts trying to fucking sell man some blurry vision, some fake vision. I don't know, man. That's gonna be the only stumbling block if another team, you know, try and get in the race. Or that's the only other team I would say that are trying to cause us a problem if there are any problems that are going to be caused. Another player that Arsenal are definitely still going to go in for would be Kadioglu. Arsenal are adamant that they want a left back. Zinchenko could be moving to Bayern Munich. Don't really know what's going on with that at this moment in time, but one thing we do know is Arsenal are looking at replacing him. They want a left back. Nuno Tavares is going to be sold. No news on what's going on with that one. That's probably going to get terminated under the rug, under the radar, and no one's even going to know that one's been terminated. Like you just see Nuno Tavares play for some dead club in France, and we you know, Marquette tell us that yeah, he was terminated or some shit. I don't know, man. But we're definitely going to be looking at a left back. Kadioglu, Ferdy Kadioglu is definitely someone that Arsenal are going to go back in for. We had a bid rejected already, and I don't know why we've had a bid rejected and not actually launched a second bid. Doesn't make any sense. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to do with this one. Are we going to go in for another bid, or is there another left back that Arsenal are looking at? Quickly, it does say here Arsenal are definitely still interested in Fenerbahce fullback Ferdi Kadioglu. Another thing we have to also consider is that Jose Mourinho is now the manager of Fenerbahce. So, you know, could Kadioglu be convinced, inspired, encouraged to actually stay in Turkey based on that move? I think he would be. Like, who doesn't want to work with Jose Mourinho? Even if you work with him for 6 months, 12 months, at least you can say, as a football player, I got the chance to work with Jose Mourinho. So right now, on that basis, you could see that as a major stumbling block. But other than that, this could be an easy one. It could actually make sense as to why Arsenal haven't been in with a second bid. Because behind the scenes, Arsenal could have been told by representatives, by the intermediaries, whoever's kind of spearheading this transfer, they could have been told that, look, Jose Mourinho is on the verge of signing and Kadioglu is really interested to see what the vision is of this manager. You know, then way there. And who wouldn't want to listen to what Jose Mourinho is doing? So let's see what Arsenal do anyway. It does say Arsenal are still serious. They want to look at getting another deal done. So let's see what happens. And the last topic, just before we move on to that last topic, Arsenal will receive 50% of any sale for Amari Hutchinson. Well done for that one, Edu. We have to give the thumbs up, give credit to Edu for that one, because the season that he had last season with Ipswich, phenomenal. Phenomenal season. Best player for Ipswich last season. Helped Ipswich get promoted to the Premier League. Now Chelsea are ready to sell Amari Hutchinson. The value is at its highest. So now they want to sell him. That was the only reason they bought him in the first place. However, big up Edu or Richard Garlick, whoever it was that implemented this in the contract, Arsenal will receive 50%. At this moment in time, that 50% is looking at about 12.5 to 15 million pounds. I mean, I would have preferred to sell Amari Hutchinson for the 30 million or for the 25 million. But to take 12.5 million from it or 15 million from it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. And you're talking about a player that never played for Mikel Arteta's senior team. So that's interesting. But anyway, let's move on to the last topic of discussion. And that is Eddie Nketiah. Eddie. My brother, Eddie. Coffee gang. My coffee's gone cold, by the way. But big up Mr. Rick Sana building. Coffee gang. Come on. It's lukewarm. But you guys know I don't mind hot, cold, lukewarm coffee. I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. As long as it ain't been sitting there for hours, 2 hours, I'm good. But after that, coffee got to go down the drain, blood, if it ain't been drunk. Edu the Clown. Oh, man. Eucharist. We need Eucharist. Eucharist and Bruno. They're the two that Ace 12 wants. We've got D Brown, big you up, my guy. No, but love and respect to you. Naga says, how much is 15%? No, not 15%, 50. 50. So for Amari Hutchinson, Arsenal get 50% of any deal that is done. And that's a good bit of business. Because according to reports, Ipswich are ready to pay Chelsea £30 million. So if they're ready to pay £30 million, then Arsenal are going to get 15 million from that deal. That's incredible. Hey, Fever Gang. Oh, yeah, but I'm blocked up, man. Big up my guy, Alex, man. And mods, though, I have to tell you guys off. My mods, 11:30 every day. I need you guys to be the first guys in the chat. I'm seeing Sergio. I'm seeing Bear Dons in the chat before the mods, man. Alex, Darth, all of the mods. I know you, man, are busy, but even if you can jump in the chat, encourage the Dons, you know, just before the stream starts, we appreciate that. You know what I mean? We need the mods in, though. We need the mods in. But big you up, Alex, man. Hay Fever Gang settings. Real talk, I can't see Arteta selling Captain Eddie. It's painful. I can't believe it. You just brought back the fact that he was wearing the captain's armband this season. Oh, my God. Make me die. No, don't make me die. What am I talking about? No. Make me throw up. Make me die. Fucking no, I'm trying to live forever, bro. Big up Haley. Love from Melbourne, Australia. Big up all the guys in Australia. Nothing but love and respect to you guys. Much appreciate you watching. And thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you, man. Share this video with all your other Australian friends as well. Please do. Please do. Anyway, Eddie Nketiah, reluctancy to sell Eddie Nketiah doesn't make any sense to me. Arsenal are reluctant to sell Eddie Nketiah or to let Eddie Nketiah leave the club this summer. Oh, it makes it even worse. Oh, they want to keep him. They want to keep him for another. They want to keep him for another summer, another season. Why? Why, Arteta? The guy's 25. It was his birthday the other day. Let him be free. Let him be free. Let him fly. How can you be 25 and not even establish yourself in a first team yet? That doesn't make any sense. He's 25 and he hasn't even established himself. He's 25 as a striker and hasn't even been able to do double-figure goals in the league. Oh, man. Let the guy free. His career is dead right now, man. And you're reluctant. You want to keep him. These men want to keep him. It doesn't make any sense to me. It has to be the English quota. This is what I'm thinking. It has to be the homegrown thing. And therefore, look, it's looking at this. ESR, Reece Nelson, they actually want to blossom. They want to grow. They want to develop. They want to go and establish themselves. Eddie Nketiah is happy to be a yes man. Happy to be a yes man. Sit on the bench, 100K, drive my G-Wagon, you know, give me 2 minutes every couple of weeks. I'm fine. Listen, I don't want these guys, man. I don't want Eddie Nketiah. If it's a homegrown thing, then you keep Aaron Ramsdale, blood. You tell Aaron Ramsdale, shut your mouth. You got to sit on the bench, bro. We need you, homegrown. We need you. If it's a homegrown thing, keep Reece Nelson, cuz. I'd rather have Reece Nelson come off the bench than Eddie Nketiah. Why is it that Eddie, there's reluctancy to sell Eddie out of all of the homegrown players we have? Eddie, come on, my brother, come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, listen, there are teams ready to sign Eddie right now. Fulham, ready to put £30 million down on the table for Eddie Nketiah. Wolves, Crystal Palace also looking to sign Eddie Nketiah. They're interested. They've made approaches already, but there's a reluctancy, and that has to be for the homegrown quota. Has to be. Anthony Roberts says, speaks concerns to me about the development of these injuries. Some big money spent on these mans and the minutes just don't add up. There we go, man. There we go. Even with like Fabio Vieira's, £40 million for Fabio Vieira, and you're telling me, you know, the guy's not getting any minutes. The guy's lost his attitude. He's not training anymore. What? What the fudge? What the flying fudge? This must be a smokescreen. Maybe. Someone said earlier in the chat they believe it's to increase the value of the player. To show reluctancy on the last day. Imagine that. You had 365 days to show reluctancy. And there's multiple ways on how you can have shown reluctancy, how you could have helped actually build the guy's valuation up. But you fucking killed him off more or less and left him on the bench for most of the time. I mean, I can see what Arteta was trying to do in the first half of the season. We mentioned giving him the captain's armband a little while ago. I mean, that potentially kind of increases the value of the player. This guy is the captain of Arsenal. I get it. Didn't make any sense, but I get it for business reasons, for you know, negotiation reasons. But yeah, this is going to be a tricky one, man. I don't know what Arsenal are going to do, what decision Arsenal are going to come to, but they need to make it fast. They need to come to that decision really, really quickly, because right now we are at the 4th of June, ladies and gentlemen, the 4th of June. The 4th of June, and we don't have anyone sold. I mean, we've got Cedric Suarez and Mohamed El-Neni and a few young players out the door, but other than that, we don't have anyone sold. Okay, we need players out the door. We need to get some good money for these players. I mean, we're not going to get good money for them. 30 million, what we're seeing there for Eddie Nketiah, that 30 million is probably what we're going to see max for most of our players. No one's going to, unless you're trying to sell a Saliba, unless you're trying to sell a Saka or a Martinelli or an Odegaard, you ain't going to see P's for these players, man. Even Ramsdale, you're struggling to cough up or command a decent fee for Ramsdale. Newcastle willing to only pay 15 million. Other teams only looking to go up to 20 million for Ramsdale, bro. So, you know, when people were talking about 6 months ago, oh, don't worry, Wax, we'll sell Aaron Ramsdale for 50 million. Oh, yeah. Sure. Sure, fam. Sure. These guys are delusional. I tell you, man. Let me read a few comments and I got to get out of here, man. I got to get out of here. Get rid of him. Absolutely. Take the 30 million and run. Got that hat trick and Eddie returns back to Zamonda. I told you, man, as well. When he got that hat trick against Sheffield United, we're never going to see him again. We never saw him again. No goals, no assists. And then it led to no appearances. Flipping hell. How did man score a hat trick and get the most gas? He got the most PR after that hat trick. I swear to you. I swear to you. I'm not even going to lie. I remember when he scored the hat trick, I was happy. I was happy and angry. I was happy at the fact that he bagged and we won the game. I was angry at the fact that he bagged, and now I'm going to have all these fucking fraudulent mutants online trying to get at me, trying to tell me about, oh, I told you about Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, sure you did, bruv. Where has he been since? Where has he been since? My takes on Eddie have always been consistent. They will always stay the same. He's not good enough. He's not good enough. And here we are. And here we are trying to, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what this club's trying to do. Big up Graylin in the building. Now, but I love respect to you, broski. Big up my guy Naga. Big up Melbourne. Big up Joe King. We've got a couple of Joes in the building today. Big up Joe King. Big up Cats. Big up Ace 12. Big up Covey. Big up Chin Davids. Melbourne. My guy Alex. Rambo. Just Ads. Every single person I can see at the bottom of the chat right now. Anthony Roberts, I see you. Sweetie, first time seeing you. Good to see you. Thank you for subscribing. All of the new people that are joining. Much appreciate you guys, man. We're live every single day, 11:30. You don't want to miss out on your boy. But we are wrapping this up right now. Wrapping it. We're going to wrap this up the same way Bissouma got his watch wrapped up. All right, guys, hit that like button. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Peace.